Shai, Shimmer Kakadash.
Dr. Honest and Apostle Elder Millstone. Shalom to them out there, those who are in faith, labor of love and true sincerity. When the Hebrew Israelites, week in and week out, prophesy the downfall and destruction of America, the upliftment of our people, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans, who are the 12 tribes, according to the Bible. The Heavenly Father's name is Yahweh, and His Son's name is Yahweh Shah.
Ezekiel chapter 3, verse 17. Son of man, I have made thee a watchman to the house of Israel. Therefore hear the word of my mouth and give them warning from me.
Right, so the first thing we come out and do is to warn the people. So when we come out here in these garments and the borders, everything is to grab the attention of the people and to show you our ancient and our custom ways, right? Because the Lord prophesied that what we would put both houses of Israel on two sticks, we will make a plank and we will be prophesying. So what we're doing now is a part of prophecy, it's a part of the legacy that the Lord left for us to be able to come back into Him. So we wanted our people, all the 12 tribes, to come out of your wicked ways and come out of the ways of America. Or else you're going to die along with America.
It says, when I say unto the wicked, thou shalt surely die, and thou givest them not warning, nor speakest to warn the wicked from his wicked way, to save his life, the same wicked man shall die in his iniquity. But his blood will I require at thine hand.
Right, so the Lord is letting you know, I'm giving you this truth for a reason. Not to sit on it, not for you to just hoard the knowledge all to yourself. You got to spread the wealth, man. It's just like, you know, when some guys, they wind up going to prison for X amount of years, and they feel like, when they come out, they want to change their life around, they feel like they got to give something back to try to save some kids. This is what we're doing, but on a way higher level than that, man. You know what I'm saying? Because what we're giving you is the path to salvation, the path to righteousness that we're supposed to naturally live, man. All right, so if you don't go out and do what the Lord requires you to do, and hoarding up that knowledge, He's going to destroy you. So letting your other brothers be destroyed without giving them warning. Right?
That's all. Love will I require at thine hand, yet if thou warn the wicked, and he turn not from his wickedness, nor from his wicked way, he shall die in his iniquity. Thou hast delivered thy soul.
Right, so us coming out and doing what we got to do, we wash the blood off our hands because we let you know what it is. The rest of that is up to the person, the individual, man. You know, there's so many people that come across this truth or that walk by us, you know, week in and week out, just like it ain't nothing, man. They just think we just another fad, another movement, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. But this is way more bigger than that, man. This is our heritage. This is who we are. The Lord said, gather those unto me which are born from the belly and carried by the womb, man. We are born Israelites. That's our identity. And which the so-called white man has attempted to steal and make a mockery of it and put us on the bottom of everything, man. That's why when you look throughout all of the ghettos, who's at the bottom? So-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, man. No matter which way you put it, we at the bottom of everything. You even had Roseanne, they was getting on Roseanne and shit. I don't know if you've seen that clip by Roseanne. You know the old TV show Roseanne and shit, right? They was getting on Roseanne because she's a so-called a small hat, and she was saying like, yeah, the Holocaust didn't happen and all of that. You know what I mean? Like, so she exposing some truths. You know what I'm saying? Like, to let it be known. But she was saying some other shit that was bullshit, so people just coming at her for that. They're like, oh, the Holocaust, yeah, it didn't happen, right? It's according to history, because that many so-called small hats wasn't even over there in that land during that time. And when Apostle put it out years ago, you know, that a lot of them died from typhus fever, you know, and a lot of them were moles and stuff like that, man. They had the symbolism of that mole culture in which they wear now today in America, the whole rainbow shit, man. You know what I mean? So the truth is constantly coming out. You know, the Lord said, what, get that song before?
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations. Let me read it again. Matthew 24 and 14. And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
right? So this word has to go throughout the four corners of the earth, meaning every nation in some way, shape, form, or fashion is going to hear about this word, man. Because you got Israelites spread throughout the four corners of the earth. They may not look like your typical J, but they Israel, man. Because once they hear the word, it's going to resonate with them, and they're going to wind up spreading the word too, man. You know? And this YouTube thing is worldwide. So all the different viral clips that went out now. Yeah, I seen a viral clip the other day. Brother, well, there was another viral clip, I think it was either ISUK or IUIC or something like that. I was posted on one of those social platforms and it was kind of viral. Dang, I can't think of it. But that just goes to show you, you know what I mean? Like the truth is constantly spreading, so there's no way that you can say that you didn't hear about the truth or you didn't know that you're an Israelite, man. You know?
Yeah, this is the book of Matthew. It's a little long for reading. Matthew chapter 24, verse 32. Now learn the parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender and putteth forth leaves, ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise ye, when ye shall see all these things, know that it is near, even at the door. Verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. But of that day and hour knoweth no man, no, not the angels of heaven, but my Father only.
Right, so the Lord let you know what? This generation shall not pass until all things be fulfilled. So the end is happening in our generation, in our time frame in which we live in, man. But you'll hear people say, oh, my grandmother and them been saying that for decades upon decades upon decades, man. The Lord operates on a completely different timeline, and his timeline is prophecy. So how we know that it's going to happen in our generation? Because of the prophecies, man. We're constantly hearing of wars and rumors of wars. We in the midst of the mark.
The mark.
Yeah, the mark.
Yeah, to see it.
Yeah, to see it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? We in the midst of that, man. They constantly talk about the different technology, ways they can do this, ways they can do that. You know what I mean? The fourth industrial revolution, you know what I'm saying? So many different things are happening to let us know what time we're living in, man. So you're not going to be able to just escape scot-free and thinking, oh yeah, I'm just going to live until I'm old and die. No, this whole world is going to flip upside down, man. It's really going to be on some Jetson type shit in the next fight, you know, however long we're going to be here, man.
Yeah, Yahweh Shai mentioned about the rumors of war. And it's what? A rumor that is going into World War III. So World War III is brewing.
And you got that show Black Mirror was getting possible to do a lesson on it. But you know, Black Mirror is how witch or warlocks on some visions. And that show is the last episode of season 6. It was showing you a newspaper. It was talking about how Putin was over there in the Arabian Peninsula, man. He said he was now back down. You know, so he's going into how this place is fitting.
And then you look at the Lord said this place is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. And this place is showing itself to be what? Sodom and Egypt.
Which way? The alphabet community, you know what I'm saying? The home of our slavery, the sign was over there. It's showing you how everything has truly been turned upside down. We went from a righteous power to a righteous stature, might I add, to the lowest people on the bottom of the totem pole. Over there on the eastern hemisphere, now on the western side of the hemisphere. We've been brought low. We've been taken by captives, and we haven't been able to get free. Why? Because the Lord is going to show his power by breaking the chains off us from the so-called white man and bringing us into glory, man, which is that new heaven and new earth we're looking for.
It says, verse 37, but as the days of Noah were, so shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. For as in the days that were before before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving in marriage, until the day that Noah entered into the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away.
Right, so for a lot of people, it's just going to be too late, because they don't take the message that we preach as serious, man. Well, that's on you if you don't take the message serious, man. You know? Hey, what's that shit with the that fucking submarine shit?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, why would you tempt the Lord like that?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. I believe they was 2 hours deep in the water.
Yeah. And that water pressure and all that, the shit, it couldn't naturally explode and implode it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like
Because exactly. Because that water pressure, man. That water is a different animal, man. You know what I'm saying? Water is a different animal, man. That shit is scary when you think about it. Like, how can water press that deep on something so big and make that shit implode, man? Like, but you Edomites still don't get it. Now, I saw another Edomite talking about he want to live on the water for 100 days. These motherfuckers, they just want to keep testing the Lord, man.
Yeah.
Hey, what to say? Fuck around and find out.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, he might just go on a shipwreck because the Lord be having Edomites on shipwreck.
Yeah.
Oh, did you see? The authors?
The whales, I was about to say that, yeah.
Yo, the Lord got the spirit on the whales, man.
Yeah.
That the whales are coming up to the boat and ripping off something from the boat and making the boat sink.
Yeah, because one of the they had they knocking off the propellers and breaking the engine down, but some Edomites had killed one of their family whales like last year. So now it's like they taking out revenge.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And just destroying all of the ships, the boats that try to come through. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So what it shows you, the whole earth is mad at the so-called white man, man, for his treachery, for his destruction, man. The whales ain't taking it, man. Because what the scriptures say, even the trees shall rejoice, man. You know?
Yeah, this is Isaiah chapter 14, verse 5. Yahweh have broken the staff of the wicked and the sepulchre of the rulers. He who smote the people in wrath with a continued stroke. He that ruled the nations in anger is persecuted and none hindered. The whole earth is at rest. It is quiet. I want the damn shit to fall. I'm going strong, Salakia. Verse 7. The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. Yea, the fig trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fellow is come up against us.
So what is that telling you? The earth will be better off without the so-called white man.
Right.
That's what that is saying. The Edomites. The earth will be much better with them out of power, man. Because everything is languishing, man. Our people, even their own people is languishing. The earth is constantly languishing. The animals, they tired of being bred like crazy and being mixed gendered and all this whole other type of stuff that they doing, man.
And they tired of being in captivity.
Yeah.
When Esau, he calls himself, first off, he goes out here and he kills these animals. And then he has his rescue squad that cares about the earth and the animals. And then when they get these animals to try to save them and preserve them, they lock them up and put them in jail, man. These animals are not happy. You know, went for the stand-up comedy with what's his name? Cat Williams. And he mentioned about the lion. He was like how the lion be in the zoo. He roar, you know, you know, because he know he in captivity. You know, and then when you see certain lions, man, they be so vicious and so angry. You see it in their eyes, and anybody who walk by, they want to snatch their ass up. Because they're in captivity, you know? But it says, yea, the fig trees, yea, the fig trees rejoice at thee, and the cedars of Lebanon, saying, since thou art laid down, no fellow is come up against us. Hell from beneath is moved for thee, to meet thee as thou comest. It stirreth up the dead for thee, even all the chief ones of the earth. It hath raised up from their thrones all the kings of the nations.
So Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 5 NLT. It says, wealth is treacherous and the arrogant are never at rest. They open their mouths as wide as the grave, and like death they are never satisfied. And their greed they have gathered of many nations and swallowed many people. But soon their captives will taunt them, they will mock them, saying, what sorrow awaits you, the thieves? much longer can this go on? So, Habakkuk chapter 2 verse 5. Wealth is treacherous, and the arrogant are never at rest.
And what the arrogant will never have rest.
What y'all talking about? The Lord?
Yeah, the sign.
Wealth is treacherous, and the arrogant are never at rest. They open their mouth as wide as the grave. Like death, they are never satisfied.
So who does that apply to? That applies to our enemies, the Edomites, the so-called white men. You know, the arrogant, they're never at rest. They always want to have something to get into. They're prideful. That's their nature, man. When they feel like they have enough, that's still not enough. They got to go for more. That's why I always say it's not about the money for them. It's the power. It's the control, man. You know, and you see that just from the whole structure of how everything's set up. And they show you prime examples when you watch these different television shows or shows on Netflix or Hulu or whatever. They show you how they all about the power, how they all about the control.
Podcast?
Nah.
Podcast? Nah.
So it shows you how it's all about control, man. Because what's the whole point of the mark or the sea hit? It's about what? Control. What was the point of the machinations? It's about control. You know what I'm saying? What's the point about them making digital currency? It's about control, because they can't control how people are using physical dollars and trying to hide money away. So this way they have complete control over everything. That's what everything is all about to them, because why? They want to be like the Most High. They want to have that power like the Most High. They feel like they want to take the Most High out. So would you say that would say what? We don't want to be like the Most High. We want to stick our thumb in his eye?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Basically said that because with all this technology, AI technology, he mentioned, he said, what is it, you know? They want to be the Most High? He said, no, they don't want to be the Most High, they just want to stick their thumbs in God's face.
And that's exactly what they're trying to do.
There's a quote by this devil, Hernan Cortez, which is a conquistador who conquered the Mexicans. He said, I am my companion. I'm trying to read it. It says, I am my companions. It says, suffer from a disease of the heart that can only be cured. Whoa.
I show you that greed, man. And then once they conquer you, they look at what else can they do? What more mission can they get into? What other people, what other land can they take over and conquer? What more oil can they dig for? What other resources can they steal? You know what I'm saying? What other people can they corrupt and be just like them and have them in power? It's the same thing.
They open their mouths as wide as the grave. Like death, they are never satisfied.
Like death, they are never satisfied. Death just keeps on taking, man. You know what I'm saying? Soul after soul after soul, man. Every day people dying out here, man. Every single day, man.
Even at this point now, the global world elite, you want to call them, the House of Esau, they have everything a heart can wish for. They have power, control, and here it is. These elites, they don't walk around with checks. They don't receive checks. They don't get debit cards. They don't have to carry cash. So here it is. They're bringing you into this new system, this beast system, or this upgraded beast system, to where you don't have to have a seat here, and you're going to be put in 15-minute seats. This shows the greed, man. Because here it is, what they want, according to the NWO, they want the resources. They're doing that math and figuring that there's too many people on the earth, and they're going to be missing out on resources. But here it is, they have all the resources. You know? So that just shows you their greed, man. All right? Yeah, real quick, I got the word arrogant. Yeah, this is arrogance. It says, quick Google search, a sense of one's own importance that shows itself in a proud and insulting way. You know, and that's he. That's the nature of he.
Proud and insulting way. So it's not enough for them just to have pride. They got to be insulting with the pride. Yeah, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You watch the show Billions? Go watch that show Billions on Amazon Prime. You will see how the motherfuckers really act, man. It's sickening, man. It's crazy.
It says, in their greed they have gathered up many nations and swallowed many peoples.
They agreed they have gathered many nations and swallowed up many people. What did so-called Alexander the Great do as soon as he came into power? What, he swallowed up the whole known earth at that time within a 12-year span. That was one of the fastest rises to power in the conquer the known world at the time ever, man. In 12 years he conquered that whole shit. You know what I'm saying? So that shows you like what they're after, man. It's always about the power. And then what the ones that came before him, they said what they were more wicked than he was, man. You know what I mean? The four generals that was underneath him that wound up taking over, man. Yeah. Don't give me the name. My mom, I'm like, I know him, but you know what I'm saying?
It says, now it says, but soon the captives will taunt them, they will mock them, saying, what sorrow awaits you thieves?
Yeah, what sorrow awaits you thieves? Because that's all they have coming towards them, right? Because when you look up in the Bible dictionary, it lets you know that Edom is the only nation that God did not promise mercy unto, man. So they have a deep, deep sorrow that's awaiting them, man. You know, we always mention different movies and stuff. The movie Black Snake, you know what I'm saying? When he was acting like he was sorry when they hung him up on the gate and all of that. They have deep anguish, pain, torture, everything coming to them twofold, man. You know?
Psalm chapter 75, verse 8. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, the wine is red, it is full of mixture, and he pours out the same, but the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them.
Exactly. So what? Esau, he's going to get the brunt of the fault, because he's going to be wiped off the face of the earth. But the rest of the nation, they're going to get the same punishment, but they're going to get the rest of what the Lord leaving left, man. You know what I'm saying? So if you take it like I said, this brother was pretty much used to drink a full cup of wine, but it's a little bit left. I ain't having none. Like, yo, look at that last little bit. You know what I mean? Just that same way. The rest of the nation, they're going to feel the Lord's pain. Esau going to get a full cup of the Lord's pain. The other nations, they're going to get that last little shot of pain. You know what I'm saying? As a trickle down effect. They got to feel it too, because they all play their hand in our slavery, torture, and keeping us down as well, man. So it's only right that they partake in it. You know what I'm saying? And when you, I remember like the old chart we used to have, with an old flyer we used to have, it showed all of the years of the captivities that we've been under other nations, and it's roughly around a 1,000-year period. And that makes sense why the Lord is putting Edom into that, say for that 1,000-year period, you know what I'm saying, afterwards, and then our kingdom is going to be built up after that period, you know?
Finish that off.
Yeah, four generals, Ptolemy, Lucius, Cassandra, like my
Now you will get what you deserve. You become rich by extortion. But how much longer can this go on?
Yeah, this is back in Matthew chapter 24, verse 39. And knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Then shall two be in the field, the one shall be taken and the other left. Two women shall be grinding at the mill, the one shall be taken and the other left. Watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doeth come.
So pretty much the Lord is going to come like a thief in the night. And the way that everything is going to go down, you know, people going to be in a rut, not knowing what to do. You just see a homeboy next to you, just out of nowhere. It's the aliens. You know what I'm saying? People ain't going to know what to do. They ain't going to know what they expect. The whole world's going to be in a complete panic, man.
Also, too, what Yahweh Shai is hitting on is that this time in this deliverance is going to only be for the elect.
Yeah.
He said when two, he said, but he said, two women shall be grinding at the mill, the one shall be taken and the other left. So showing you that this time, this great deliverance that's going to trump the old deliverance from Egypt, right? When the Israelites was delivered from Egypt from the hands of Moses, all right? This time it's only going to be the elect, you know?
Psalm 64:1. Hear my voice, O God, in my prayer. Preserve my life from the fear of the enemy. Hide me from the secret counsel of the wicked, from the insurrection of the workers of iniquity.
Word up. And that's exactly what the Lord is going to do. The Lord is going to hide the elect, from all the iniquity of the wicked up into those chariots, as the brother was just getting into. As see two in the field and one being taken up. That's what we're looking forward to happening, so that we don't have to partake in the destruction of the wicked, man. The destruction of the 2/3 of our people that's here in America, Yeah.
And whet their tongue like a sword, and bend their bows to shoot their arrows, even bitter words.
Right, and who they shooting them at? They shooting them at us, man.
That they may shoot in secret at the perfect. Suddenly do they shoot at him and fear not.
And who's the perfect? The perfect is our people. Not meaning that we're literally perfect, but in the eyes of the Lord we are, because we're his people. We're the ones who he gave the law, statutes, and commandments to righteously govern the earth in its perfect form, how the Lord designed it. So if somebody gives you the design and say, yo, hold this down, do this exactly how I did it, and everything is going to go right. So he gives you the perfect way because he made it himself. So this is why we're part of that perfect, man. This is why we are the perfect, so to speak, if you will. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like you're going to the characteristics of Jacob, we're going as a plain man. We're going to that word plain. It's like upright. Like you said, you know how we the perfect.
Hey, because the Lord said in that Psalm 32, he said he imputed not iniquity. So if the Lord imputed his elect not iniquity, and he forgives them of their sins, they perfect in the eyes of him. That's why listen, the book of Romans, Apostle Paul, he mentioned how he said, if the Lord be with us, who can be against us? You know?
It's like a dude that sit there and be trying to romance a female, and regardless of your flaws and all, you're perfect in my eyes. You know what I mean? Like, that's how the Lord feel about us, because we're his woman. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing, man.
It says they encourage themselves in an evil matter. They commune of laying snares privily. They say, who shall see?
That's the treachery of the so-called white man, because they really feel as though that their power shall go to they feel as though that their power is unmatched, that they can't be touched, that they don't have to answer for their crimes, man. But everybody has to answer for their sins, man. Everybody has to answer for their crimes, one way or another. You want to pay for something that you've done, man. Because that's how the Lord set it up.
Isaiah 29:15. Woe to them that seek me to hide their counsel.
It don't matter
from
who
the
got
Lord,
down here first. I'm
and
down
their
there,
work
God
from
damn
the
it. And
And
face
they
to
say,
face, you
"We
couldn't
sin
hold the
for us."
bus.
And you know for us.
You never know when you might see a nigga out here, but I'm gonna let it go,
Upside
goddamn.
down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay.
Right, so they go about their way saying, I'm talking about who said fuss and who know fuss, man. Because they have a way of putting the truth in plain sight and still saying it don't matter what they say. They still gonna be dumb to the fact anyway. We got this in the back no matter what we do. We can put all these rituals all on TV. We can have real live sacrifices going on with real blood. You know what I mean? Have a alphabet of sitting on it, riding on the devil and all of that. And we still won't get away with it. They still won't rock with us because of the image we put up there. They want to be like us. Because the so-called white man knows that our people are followers. And what our people want to do, they want to be just like them. Why? Because it's all about the image. It's all about the status. That's what our people follow after, man. They don't follow after righteousness. They rather follow after somebody who got status and riches, no matter how wicked they is. If you got that bag, they gonna follow you. They gonna listen to you, man. You know? Got something?
Yeah. Going back to Matthew. Real quick, this woman, that's her Jeep over there. She can't seem to stop it from doing off the alarm going off. So she said, fuck it, just walk right in the store, man. anyway. This is bothering my spirit, man. This is Matthew chapter 24 and 39. But know this, that if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief would come, he would have watched and would not have suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore, be ye also ready, for in such an hour as ye think not, the Son of Man cometh. Who then is a faithful and wise servant, whom his Lord hath made ruler over his household, to give them meat in due season? Blessed is that servant whom his Lord, when he cometh, shall find so doing. Verily I say unto you, that he shall make him ruler over all his goods. But and if that evil servant shall say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, and shall begin to smite his fellow servants, and to eat and drink with the drunken, the Lord of that servant shall come in a day when he looketh not for him, and for an hour that he is not aware of.
Right, and who is that? And that's a lot of guys who wind up falling out of this truth, man. Falling by the wayside, but whether it's by a woman, whether money takes you out of the truth, or whatsoever what happens. You wind up, the Lord woke you up to the truth, and you wind up falling back asleep again. Because you're like, damn, where the Lord at? In some way in your mind, you start to lose your patience for the harvest that is to come. But we being patient on the harvest, man. You know, and I'll be, driving for work and stuff, and I'll be out there, like in, Jersey is real vast with a lot of like farmland and crops and all that shit. I'll never be seeing them picking up shit, but I'm just like, damn, that harvest be taking a long ass time. They talking about, see, wheat fields, corn fields, blueberry fields, all these fields, but I'll never see nobody out there picking. Why? Because it takes a long time for that harvest to pull in so they can actually go out there and pick everything all at once in due season, man. So it's the same thing for us. We try to learn the righteous path. Constantly waiting for that due season, but we shall be able to reap our benefits of what we're doing out here, man. Now the Lord does load us daily with benefits of being able to get by day to day, our health, so on and so forth. But what we're looking for, that ultimate prize, and that's salvation. That's of being saved from the destruction of the so-called white man. That's the ultimate prize, man. Not having to live in the conditions in which we live in. Not having to constantly struggle day by day. Not being oppressed in every which way you go, whether it's your woman, your job, you're having trouble, car trouble, whatever. We're oppressed on every side, man. But we're looking for the rest. That's why we're looking for the harvest constantly. We stand true to the cross, man.
We need a savior, man. We need Yahweh Shai, man. Because, they about to roll out digital ID, Don't forget the CBDC, the carbon footprint, social credit. With these things, brothers like us and those who are believers in Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai won't be able to live in this world, because this is not our rest, man. So we need a savior, man. This devil is about to implement a system to where he has full control over every detail and aspect of your life, man. Because when he controls the money in a digital way, he's going to be able now to just take it from your account, and you won't be able to put no more money into a shoebox. You won't be able to hide money from him. He wants to know every transaction. And the devil's so damn devilish, this damn devil is so evil, that now he wants to not only do that, but he wants to get inside your body, man. Scripture say he wants to sit in the temple of the Most High as though he is the Most High. So really, he's going after the Lord, man.
And this is who people idolize. This is who people want to be like. To serve the mammon God just like Esau.
Ecclesiastes 9 and 13. This wisdom have I seen also under the... Okay, 9 and 13. This wisdom have I seen also under the sun, and it seemed great unto me. There was a little city, and few men within it. There came a great king against it, and besieged it, and built great bulwarks against it. Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he by his wisdom delivered the city. Yet no man remembered that same poor man.
Right, so the Lord is giving you a basic story saying, like, this wisdom have I seen, and it was great to me, meaning like it was heavy on his mind of when he thought about the scenario, when he came across the scenario with his head. So bring that back one more time.
It says, stop. There was a little city, and few men within it, and there came a great king against it, and besieged it, and built bulwarks against it. Now there was found in it a poor wise man, and he, by his wisdom, delivered the city. Yet no man remembered that same poor man.
Now, we could put this in a lot of different scenarios, but I like to equate this little story here to Yahweh Shah. Because it said what? It was a great king, you know, there was a city with few men in it, and a great king built, you know, bulwarks and all that against it. But out of that little city, you had one man, you know, that was poor, and he delivered the city, but yet nobody remembered him. You can relay that to Yahweh Shah, because in today's time, our people don't know who the Lord is. People don't know who our big brother is, our Savior is. So we who to tell you is, he's the great man that's delivering us at this small city. Man. Because what? We're, according to Esau, you know, we're the minority, but we know that we're growing constantly larger in number, just how we did in ancient Egypt. Man. So Yahweh Shah, just as a nigga's example, that poor wise man that saved the city against that great king, he's going to do the same thing in today's time and save us from the hands of the Edomites.
It says, then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard.
So just how I was saying, if you got that bag, you got that money, you got status, people don't want to hear you all day. You know what I'm saying? You have people arguing on social media about something fucking stupid. Would you take 500,000 or a dinner with Jay-Z? Stupid shit like that. And you had a lot of problems, a lot of people saying, oh, but I'll get the 500,000, I'll sick because the wisdom I could get from Jay-Z could make me 10 times that. Fucking stupid, man. Why? All because what? He got money, he got status, he got power. You know what I'm saying? And that's what it's all about to people. But it said what? So I'll read that last part again.
It says, then said I, wisdom is better than strength. Nevertheless, the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heard.
Right, so wisdom is better than strength. Wisdom is better than Esau and all of his money that he got, because the wicked wisdom is not really wisdom, man. It's sorcery, it's witchcraft. They don't really have wisdom, right? So the poor man's words are never really heard in the eyes of the mass of the people, because why they looking at his stature, how short he is, how tall he is, how is he looking. You know what I mean? Chicks looking you up from toe to head and shit. Oh, is his sneakers dirty? How he looking? So they don't want to hear what you gotta say. It's just like these modern marriages and stuff nowadays. Not to get too much on that topic, but like with the modern marriages and stuff like that. Chicks only really want to stick it out with you if they believe you have potential to be great. Meaning what? Make a great salary. It don't matter how much wisdom you got, if you ain't got the money, they ain't really gonna be willing to follow you like that. Or they'll follow you to a certain point, but at a certain point, if you ain't bringing in that money, they want to get rid of you. But wisdom, the knowledge, the understanding, that means more than anything in this earth, man. But some people can't seem to fathom that. If you have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding, there's nothing that you can't attain, man. Nothing. In Wisdom of Solomon 6:20, it tells you, through the desire of wisdom bringeth us to a kingdom. So that's what's going to bring us all of the gold and the physical riches, if you will. But it's much more than that, man. Much more than that, man. You know?
I got a quick precept. This is James chapter 2, verse 5. Hearken, my beloved brethren, have not the Most High chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith, and heirs of the kingdom, which he hath promised to them that love him? But ye have despised the poor. Do not rich men oppress you and draw you before the judgment seats? Do not they blaspheme the worthy name by the which ye are called? If ye fulfill the royal law according to the scripture, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself, ye do well. But if ye respect the persons, have respect of persons, ye commit sin, and are convinced of the law as transgressors. You know, because the Lord, look, the scripture say, the Lord have not the Most High chosen the poor of this world, rich in faith. You know, brother talking about the wisdom, the knowledge, and understanding, you know, but faith and hope comes along with that. And through the Lord, we have everything. You know, right now it's just a waiting process. You know, we're waiting, we're suffering. You know, because this is how the Lord paved it out. This is how He put it out there for us to get to the kingdom. You know,
because it's always a trickle down effect. Because, like I said, if you have faith, then you're going to know that, okay, well, what's a part of me having faith? Me learning the ways of the Lord, me trying to gain more wisdom in the scriptures, me trying to gain more wisdom about life, so I know what pitfalls to avoid, what things that I should or should not do.
bust for her door. Bust for her door. Open the door at the same time with the bus. Yeah, it's a spiritual. It's demons out here, man.
Yeah, definitely is.
Demons out here, man. It's very high vibration demons, man.
I know I heard something, but I ain't know that. Yeah, her door.
And she worked for the post office.
Word.
He like, he gonna keep going.
Yeah.
And more than likely to cut off. More than likely to cut off.
She wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
Just been going all around, man. Just been going all around.
It's Malachi chapter 3, verse 16. And they that fear the Lord, verse 14. Ye have said it is vain to serve God, and what profit is it that we have kept his ordinance, and that we have walked mournfully for the Lord of hosts? And now we call the proud happy. Yea, they that work wickedness are set up. Yea, they that tempt God are even delivered. Then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another. And the Lord hearkened and heard it, and a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared Yahweh and that thought upon his name.
Right, so at the end of the day, it's all about the book of remembrance. What the book of remembrance is the Bible. It's these scriptures. The Lord left this as records for us to be able to come back into our heritage. For us to avoid all of the pitfalls of the so-called white man, to realize why we're in the conditions, in the positions in which we're in, and which way to escape it. We can't escape the shit physically, but we can escape it mentally. Right? And that's what it's all about. What's the old sayings? You can lock my body, but can't trap my mind, and all those different types of sayings about and mind being free, etc., etc., etc. The Lord already set the example of that. The Lord set the staple of that already, man, by giving us the scriptures, man, to let us know why was certain slaves way back when able to, they didn't have the full understanding of the Bible, but why could they relate to the Bible so much that it was just so deep within them that they built up a rebellion? They could recognize that, hey, this sounds like me, this sounds like our people. They might not have known the whole truth, but they knew this was something that belonged unto us, man. You know? Because the Lord set that there, man. And that's something that you can't take away.
Yeah, we talking about wisdom. A lot of the woman would have used wisdom and looking through her mirror before she opened the goddamn door.
Exactly. Especially on a busy ass main street like Market Street.
Yeah. Yeah, man. Hey, another thing too I was thinking about, not the shady spirit, but these women, man, these women, look, the first thing she did was what? Pull out her phone and call who? 911. You ain't gonna be able to do that in these days to come when certain troubles come upon you. You know? See, right now this system is up and running, and these women are safe because they can pick up their phone and they can call 911. So now she's gonna get help. But I tell you this, if that, if 911 wasn't up, nobody would help her, man. Ain't nobody helping her now. You know? When you wait till the Lord send forth those troubles upon you, nobody's gonna be able to save you, man. You know?
That shit crazy. Now all the people gonna have to get off the bus. She's gonna be sitting here for a minute. You know what I'm saying? All because not using wisdom, man.
Yeah. And women are clumsy, man. Women are very clumsy. They can't drive. Their hesitation, their reactions is off. A woman for you, man. Nice little car too.
To finish this off, it says, and they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day when I make up my Jews, and I will spare them as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. Then shall he return to discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth God and him that serveth him not.
Right, so the Lord is making that separation between him that serves the Lord and him that serves him not. How is he able to make that distinction? Because he gave us the scriptures. Man. That's how he able to make that distinction. He gave us scriptures to tell us who we are and guidelines to specifically follow, man. Now, if you're on a job and if your boss don't give you instructions about something, how can you be held accountable for something, right? You can't be. Because you wasn't taught this, you know what I mean, and able to do this. So you can't be held to a certain standard for that. But if the Lord clearly left you instructions here to follow, you held to that standard, man. Whether you want to accept the standard or not. You have to. You always be put in the middle of it, man. You know, like how people don't like to get in the midst of people's business. Well, hey, you might not feel like you want to get in this business, but you in it. You know what I mean? The Lord put you smack dab in the middle of it.
See, the scriptures talk about Jacob's trouble. And the fact is that it doesn't matter if you want to believe or not that you're an Israelite. If the seed of your father goes back to one of these tribes, you are an Israelite. And guess what? Yahweh Shai has a controversy with you. That's why the scriptures talk about Jacob's trouble. Meaning Jacob is in trouble. You know?
He's in trouble.
Yeah, in trouble, man. Hoping some fine fella come over there and rescue him, man. You know? Some guy come take charge. You know, don't worry about it. Relax. You know? But the days are coming, which is trouble, where the Lord is bringing this evil upon you, and Jake ain't gonna understand why it's happening to him. Now, they're gonna understand, but they're gonna be feeling like it shouldn't be happening to you. You know, and that's the worst feeling. When you feeling like it shouldn't be happening to you. You know, you're tricking yourself, you basically tricked yourself. You know? Hey, Hosea 4:6. I can get it real quick. This is the book of Lockman.
Why people gonna feel like that? Because they don't know.
Right. It's the book of Hosea, chapter 4, verse 6. My people are destroyed for the lack of knowledge. There you go. Talking about knowledge, understanding, wisdom. It says, because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. Thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children.
I said because even in churches they say the law is done away with. You know? That's pretty heavy right there.
I got one just land back off that one. Proverbs 19:2. Also, that the soul be without knowledge, it is not good. And he that hasteth with his feet sinneth. So if you don't have that knowledge, it's not good. People try to say ignorance is bliss. Nah, ignorance is death, man. Because if you don't know, you don't stand a chance. At least if you know and you're aware, you stand a chance to get your feet in the race, man, to get your body into the race, man. At least we know that we in the race. We stand a chance, man. That's what we're fighting for every single day. Our opportunity to constantly stay in this race, man. You know? But the rest of the people, they don't care, they don't know, it don't bother them. But when that time comes, it's going to bother them. You know what I mean?
I got a quick precept. Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22. For my people is foolish. They have not known me. They are silent children, and they have none understanding. They are wise to do evil, but to do good they have no knowledge.
No understanding, right? Like, for instance, right, I was having a conversation, some time ago with this dude at work or whatever. You know what I mean? He, you know, a little knowledge, you know, the average Jake music knowledge, they know a little bit about Illuminati, stuff like that. Started chopping him up with him about the scriptures just a little bit and stuff like that. And he was like, oh yeah, Israelites, right? He's like, yeah, you know, I heard y'all on the fad list and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah. And he asked me like, oh, so you proud of that, huh? I'm like, yeah, I'm proud of it. Because he done did time before, so he looking at me like, that's a damn shame. Like, but I'm just like, but he don't understand, he don't have the proper understanding. He thinking like, I'm proud of it on some bullshit. Like, yeah, we on the bad list. Nah, nigga. I'm proud of that. Why? Because that shows that the average guys that are toting guns and doing all of the bullshit, Esau not worried about them like that. They worry about us, and all we doing is talking about the Bible, man. That shows you who got the real power, man. We do. through the spirit of Yahweh Shah, man. Given to us by way of our apostle elders a great millstone, man. That's something to be proud of, to know that we on a hit list. So that we are going to be persecuted for standing up for righteousness, man. That's something to be proud about, man. That's something to have dignity about. So hell yeah, I'm happy about that shit, man. Because that shows that when the time comes, we will call the enemy number one. And if we gotta be martyrs for the Lord, then so be it, man. We're gonna gain everlasting life for it, man.
It proves the word of the Lord to be true.
Yeah.
It proves that he's the wicked. Because all we're doing is reading the Bible. You know, we're being hated because why? We read the scriptures. We're bringing out the book, the word. You know, that shows you who the wicked one is. And that proves the word of the Lord to be true. You know, that means Yahweh Shah is going to crack those clouds as well. You know, I got something. I'm going to read into it. This is 2nd Esdras chapter 8, verse 50. For many great miseries shall be done to them that in the latter time shall dwell in the world, because they have walked in great pride. But understand thou for thyself, and seek out the glory for such as be like thee. For unto you is paradise open, the tree of life is planted, the time to come is prepared, plentiness is made ready, a city is builded, and rest is allowed. Yea, perfect goodness and wisdom. The root of evil is sealed up from you. Weakness and the moth is hid from you. And corruption is fled into hell to be forgotten. Sorrows are past, and an end is showed the treasures of immortality. And therefore ask thou no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish, which is the 2/3. You know, so when Esdras was speaking with the Lord, you know, the Lord told him, he said, therefore ask no more questions concerning the multitude of them that perish. So the Lord is not dealing with 2/3 of Israel, man. That's why the Lord numbered them to that number. He numbered them to that sword, you know. And he said he would save the 1/3, you know, that election. You know?
For the ones that don't believe. Hey, you can look at us all type of which ways, and like we don't know what we talk about, we simple-minded, whatever. None of that shit matters, man. The only opinion that matters to us is the Heavenly Father and His Son, man. That's all that matters, man. You can look at us, hey, we supposed to be judged. We supposed to be looked at as we crazy. That's all added to a testimony for us, man. That's all added into our glory and our points with the Lord, man. So it doesn't even matter, man. You know, that's a beautiful thing about it. We gotta suffer humiliation in the eyes of the people to gain glory and favor in the eyes of the Lord, and it's well worth it, man. Every penny of it, man, every ounce of it that we gotta suffer in the eyes of the people is worth it, man. Because y'all don't really know what's going on.
This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 3.
Now let's talk about that shit. That's the, you know how like how we talk about like when we first come into the truth, we real zealous to be telling people when we getting in debates and we getting angry. I ain't been upset in a minute, but when I started getting upset. When me and dude was talking about that shit, and I'm like, then I come out, I'm like, you know, fuck this thing, he's going down anyway. You know what I mean? Fuck this thing, you know what I mean? Like that's how I started thinking in my head, because that it's just the ignorance of the people, man. I could have broken down to him 1,000 different ways. He still wouldn't get it. Because if you're not immersed in these scriptures, you're not going to get the understanding, man. The Lord ain't opening up your mind to it. I can tell you 1,000 different ways, you're still not going to get it, man.
This is Romans chapter 8 and 16. The Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High. And if children, then heirs, heirs of the Most High, and joint heirs with the Mashiach Yahushua. If so be that we suffer with him, that we may also be glorified together. He says, for I reckon that the sufferings of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us.
Right, so the little bit of time that we have to suffer now, you know, for righteousness' sake, like I said, man, it's all worth it, man. Because before you know it, we're going to be changed, Lord willing, we're going to be changed in a twinkling of an eye, man. All of this shit is going to be like a big blur. It's just like every day, I be saying to myself, every day of the week, for the most part, it feels like a big blur. Because you're doing the same routine over and over. You go to work, you come home, you take a out. It's a big blur, and you living in a nightmare, man. It's like you living in a fucking time capsule and you fucking trapped, man. And there's fucking no way out. But our way out is the Lord, and that's the time which we waiting for, man. So all of the sufferings, all of the everyday BS we gotta go through, it's worth it to put our lives on the line for Yahweh Shemiah Shah, man. If this is the only chance that we have at anything great is with the Lord, man. You know?
Yeah, I got another one going into Esau though, but it refers to his brother when he was talking about the dream. This is Job chapter 20 and 6. Though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach unto the clouds, yet he shall perish forever, like his own dung. They which have seen him shall say, where is he? He shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found. Yea, he shall be chased away as a vision of the night. Because this devil, the wicked, all right, he is the Lord's sword. And so, we're suffering, all right, first off, when we committed our iniquity, or committed sin, the Lord put us in captivity, but it's the sword that's oppressing us. So when he's out the way, we will live. So this place will be like a dream. So when the Lord said, scriptures say, though his excellency mount up to the heavens, meaning excellency going into the height and elevation of his pride, it says, shall mount up to the heavens, and his head reach into the clouds. And right now we almost here, because this devil is ready to implement his system, the new beast system, or let's say upgrade the beast system. All right, and when he goes forth to do so, this is where he's going to feel like, when the scriptures say, as he is eating, the Lord shall rain upon him. He's going to feel like he's reaching his goal. This is the height and elevation of his pride, as if he's going to control, or matter of fact, the scriptures say, as we mentioned earlier, he wants to sit in the temple of the Most High, and he as though he is the Most High. You know? So it says, though his excellency mount up to the heavens, and his head reach into the clouds, yet he shall perish forever like his own dung, and they which have seen him shall say, where is he? You know? It says, he shall fly away as a dream, and shall not be found, yea, he shall be chased away as the vision of the night. So really, you know, once this devil gets taken out, that nightmare is over. You know?
Pretty cool. We're here in our dreams, man.
Finally wake up.
Yeah.
Right now, we're going to sleep. Hey, the elect is awoke in the dream. Well, when we wake up out of this dream, you know, we're going to be cool. We're going to live. You know?
It says, Psalm chapter 30, verse 4. Sing unto the Lord, O you saints of his, and give thanks at the remembrance of his holiness. For his anger endures but for a moment, and his favor is life. Weeping may endure for a night, but joy cometh in the morning.
That's facts, man. Weeping may, be for the night, but joy cometh in the morning, man. That's how it is. You know that John 16:20. I believe it's John 16:20. That's a powerful statement, man, because anytime, you're usually going through something or whatever, you feel some type of way.
Life before our eyes.
Right. But anyway. Satan is out here, boy.
St. John chapter 16, verse 20.
She mad at everybody else.
Verily, verily, I say unto you, that ye shall weep and lament, but the world shall rejoice.
Right, we shall weep and lament, but the world shall rejoice. The world is rejoicing right now. The world is living it up. The world, they doing the latest TikTok dance. They out getting married. They out on trips to Jamaica. They touring the 7 seas. They doing fucking underwater expeditions and all types of bullshit. Living their life like it's golden. With the fucking Duval song, living my best life. This life ain't shit. How the fuck you living your best life, man? You know what I'm saying? So we weeping. Every single day we weeping. Of course we have our little moments of joy, but for the most part we weeping. Right? because we know what's coming in store. We know the real of it. The more knowledge, wisdom, and understanding you have, the more grief it brings upon you, man. Because you realize, yo, all we can do, we gotta sit and wait on the Lord. That's our most powerful thing we can do, sit and wait on the Lord. That's where our power lies. You know what I'm saying? In the eyes of everybody else, it's like, yo, ain't shit we can do. Fuck, we might as well party, we might as well get drunk, we might as well do this, we might as well wild out. We might as well commit adultery, we might as well rob, we might as well steal. It's just like, yo, we don't have no choice because there's nothing else to do. But just let me to do, be a nigga. Nah, wait on the Lord. That's what you're expected to do, man. Weep and lament with your brothers. We all suffering, man.
But the world shall rejoice, and ye shall be sorrowful, but your sorrow shall be turned into joy.
Right, so this is how when you put out the other scripture, weeping come up at night, but in the morning come up joy. It's the same thing as this, man. Right now, we weeping, they joyful, but our sorrow shall be turned into joy, and their joy is going to be turned into mourning when it's all said and done. Why? Because they're not paying attention. They don't understand. They don't see what's going on. They're not paying attention to what's happening. They don't have understanding of the Lord to know the full plot of this, man. That's why we're preparing ourselves for the battle with a great day, because we know and we understand the severity of this thing, man. And we are fully persuaded in our minds that everything the Lord said has come to pass, is happening, and shall happen.
This is Baruch, chapter 4, verse 23. For I sent you out with mourning and weeping, but the Most High will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever.
Hey, because what happened when Yahweh Shai, he let me know, hey, I ain't going to be here much longer. It was sad in the mother, like, yo, big bro, where you going, big bro? We going in like that? Like, yo, my time has come. I got to do what the Father called me to do. I mean, yeah, you're going to be sad for a while, but don't worry. I'll be back. I'm going to come back for you. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing, man. It's the same thing. So we've been mourning, you know, since our big brother left us, man. But, hey, that time is coming. We're going to crack them clouds and, hey, my brothers, I told you I'll be back. You know what I'm saying? You know how, like, you got a cousin or a brother or something, they going, you the little brother, they going out like, damn, I want to go, I can't go. You're like, don't worry, I'm back, I'm going to bring you something back. When I come back, don't worry, I got you. You come back, oh, you all happy, you know what I mean? Like, that's how it's going to be, man.
Big bro, little bro.
Yeah.
It says, verse 24, like as now the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity, so shall they see shortly your salvation from our power, Yahweh, which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of the everlasting.
And that's what they fearful of. That's why they want to keep us down. They know the intellect, the intelligence, they know the power, the resolve in everything that we have, man. That's what they're scared of, man. Lord Jamar said it on some years back on DJ Flag podcast. It's like they fear a black planet. You know what I mean? But I put it in our terms, they fear an Israelite planet, man. That's what they fear, man.
They fear that because they know they're going to go into captivity. Esau fear that he's going to have to reap what he has sown.
Yeah. They don't want to face that, man. Yeah. They don't want to face that. Just like these Edomites, they go out and do all types of crime, but they don't want to go to jail, so they wind up offing themselves. Right? And then to show Billions, you know, the billionaire, he pretty much, and it's happened with a couple of billionaires or 100 millionaires in that show. They was faced with prison. They didn't want to go. They said, no, I can't face prison. I got to leave. I got to flee the country. Because they can't do it.
Right.
They don't want to face their crimes.
Do the crime, you do the crime.
Exactly. Your people invented the law. You do the crime, you do the time. You know what I mean? But you don't want to face it, man.
Esau's law is wicked, you know, because there's loopholes in his law.
Yeah.
But Yahweh Hashem Shah's law, it is what it is. Right. You know, it's no loopholes, man. You know, and that's why guys, you know, like you know, you got rappers that kill each other, and all they do is pay one of them small hat lawyers. They getting off scot-free. You know, it says, verse 25, my children, suffer patiently the wrath that is come upon you from the Most High, for thou enemies have persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction and shalt tread upon his neck. My My delicate ones have gone rough ways and were taken away as a flock caught of the enemies. Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto the Most High, for ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you.
Right, so the Lord said, what? The most important thing out of this? Wait patiently. Why are we waiting patiently? Because, hey, salvation is coming. Revenge is coming. Not on no carnal shit from us right now. Spiritually, the revenge, we having spiritual revenge right now by speaking out against you in your own society. But that physical revenge is going to come, you know, with those spiritual powers. And our big brother cracking those clouds, man.
Brightness of the Lord's coming.
Yeah, the brightness of the Lord's coming, man. You know what I mean? So it's coming. So the Lord said, what? Wait patiently, meaning what? Suffer. Just a little longer. Gotcha. But our people, you know, it'd be like somebody that owe you money and be like, yo, don't worry, next week I got you. They keep putting you off. That's how people feel. Like, they keep putting it off. They're like, nah, we got to do something now. You do something now, your ass going to end up in jail. You're going to end up dead. It's nothing now people can physically do now to combat the technology and the warfare and everything that Esau got going on. They're too organized for that. We don't even have our own government structure, no none of that shit.
Nothing.
You put 10 jakes together somewhere along the line, somebody gonna fight for power or two gonna turn against three, so on and so forth, man. So you can't do this shit on your own. We need our righteous power, man. Yahweh and Yahweh Shah. That's the only way that the devil can be overthrown, man.
Yeah. It says, but as it was your mind to go astray from the Most High, so being returned, seek him 10 times more. For he that hath brought these plagues upon you shall bring you everlasting joy with your salvation.
So what is that showing you? The one that put us in this situation is the only one that can get us out of this situation. Just like when your parents, they give you a whooping, right? You scream and you holler, but you scream and you holler and you run right back to them to console you. They done whooped your ass, not anybody to console you. That's what the Lord is doing, man. The Lord whooped our ass and he's going to be the only one to console us, man. Oh, come on, baby, it's going to be all right. It's going to be all right. You know what I mean? It's strange how that works, right? But that's what it is, man. You don't cry unto the so-called white man in the government for any goddamn thing. They not going to give it to you. Why would they? It's not in their benefit to give it to you.
Nothing that benefits you, hell no.
Exactly. Their whole purpose is to stay in power, man. That's the whole purpose.
And then too, we just read the scripture said that this suffering is not compared to the glory that we shall receive. So this little bit of suffering, it ain't compared to the glory. We gonna have the earth, man. We're about to have the world, man. You know? But it says, verse 30, take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. Miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoice at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children serve.
Right. He that gave us that name, who gave us our name, shall comfort us. We can't be comforted by the man that gave us the title African American, or Negro, or Afro-American, or whatever type of American you want to call it, or Puerto Rican, or all of the different tribes' names, man. He renamed our biblical names that the Lord rightfully gave us. He tried to wipe away your whole history. But yet you think in some way, shape, form, or fashion in your mind that he's going to give you some sympathy and throw you a spoon by spoon feeding you fucking, what's they looking for? Reparations and shit like that, man.
Yeah, money is not going to come.
Exactly. It ain't going to do nothing, man.
And the thing too about this devil, see, he thought that he was basically destroying us, but he was fulfilling prophecy.
Yeah.
Because the scriptures say, I forgot where it's at, but it said, Revelations, it said, where we shall not be called the children of the Lord, and then we shall be called the children of the Lord. Yeah, you know. And so that proves prophecy, man. You know? Yeah, it says, verse 30, take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee. Miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoice at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children serve. Miserable is she that received thy sons.
Right. miserable is the cities in which thy children serve, man. Look at our neighborhoods. They fucking pathetic, man. Every ghetto you go to is fucking pathetic, man. You know what I mean? I drive out because driving and shit, go out all these other neighborhoods and shit, especially when you go out to Princeton, New Jersey. The high school look like a college. They got little campuses and all on the high school shit. It's an old ass building, look like it was built in the fucking 1600s. And all these motherfuckers is just walking all over and this shit look like a college. No trouble in the world. They're not worried about being robbed or getting stolen from them. None of that shit, man. Their parents got money. Them the type of houses, man. You know what I mean? Out there and shit. They don't lock their doors. You know what I mean? You can see right through the shit. They ain't worried about nothing. Areas where it's glass windows. They ain't worried about nothing. Why would they?
I was doing DoorDash, and you had Edomites you pull up to their house, and he had the blinds, and I'm looking, and the dude had no blinds. Excuse me. He had his couch and his big ass screen TV, and you see him outside. I'm in the car, and I can see all through his house, and he with his feet looked up. He was like. I said, motherfucker, look at this shit, yo. Look at this shit. Like, yo, this nigga ain't got no blinds, yo. Jake gonna get blinds, man. He get in there with his feet laid up and had the nerve to turn around, and because he noticed I was there, he was like, I said, motherfucker, get the fuck out of here, man.
They don't have a care in the world, man. Not a care in the world, man. Every city in which our people live in, you know what I mean? Like the major cities in which our people live in, is torn down. They're being gentrified, you know what I mean? They raising the rent so you can't afford them and then dispersing us to different areas and shit like that, man. You know what I mean?
I'll read it again, closing up. This is verse 31. Miserable are they that afflicted thee, and rejoice at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thou children.
Hey, look at Philadelphia and Montreal. I hate Philly. I hate going there. Everything about it. I always had issues with fucking Philadelphia itself. It's called what? The city of brotherly love.
Ain't no brotherly love.
Ain't no brotherly love there. They had like the most murders in like the past 2 years or something like that. You know what I mean? I be subscribed to this little thing on Instagram. I be seeing people get killed over there every single day. And I'm actually on a job one day, and I delivered to this one Edomite house, and he like, hey man, anybody looking for a job? I'm like, nah, well, what's up? And he just showed us his car. He's like, yeah, so I was over there and I was trying to deal with a customer, and I was, sitting out. It was like a real rough neighborhood, I could tell. He was, it was like, I was sitting there waiting for my customer. He was like, and some guy pulled up on me in the car, and he hopped out with a mask on. He had the gun pointed at me. But then I guess he realized I wasn't the person who he was targeting, so he jumped back and he ran off. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. You know?
Everywhere Jake at, wherever Jake at, they in the hood. There's some type of hood to their way, they live. Like in London, you can't carry straps. So they got knives, they'll pull you up. But it's still hood. It's
known for stabbing, word up.
It says, miserable are the cities which thou children serve. Miserable is she that received thy son. For as she rejoiced at thy ruin, and was glad at thy fall, she shall be grieved for her own desolation. For I will take away the rejoicing of a great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning.
Because what do all of these little cities and stuff make up? It makes up the great city that is America, that is Babylon the Great. So just how our inner cities are constantly desolated and destroyed and impoverished and ran down, the Lord is going to do that tenfold to America on a whole scale, man. So you think you did something in our neighborhoods, what the Lord going to do to you ain't touching this, what y'all doing to us, man. It ain't going to touch it, man.
There's no remembrance for him. No monument. That he's going to be able to look back and be like, that's when I ruled. It ain't going to be fire, man. The lake of fire. Yeah, it's cool. It says, for I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning. For fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time. O Jerusalem, look up thee toward the east, and behold the joy that cometh on thee from the Most High. Lo, thou sons come, whom thou sentest away, they come gathered together from the east to the west by the word of the Holy One, rejoicing in the glory of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua.
That's why it says, hey, when our salvation is there, hey, what? Look up. You know what I mean? Because our salvation is coming through those clouds, man. Coming from the east to the west, man. You know what I mean? So we got a lot to look forward to, you know, in the near future. We got, you know, we got more, a lot of death and destruction that's going to happen along the way. But ultimately, you know, it's glory, it's joy, you know, all the pain's going to be erased, the sorrow, the tears wiped away from our eyes. As a people, we have a lot to look forward to, but only if you ignorant Israelites can wake up and open your damn eyes and see this thing for what it is and have the understanding, man. We out here out of love, man, cursing you out at the same time, man.
And I gotta say, when Yahushua returns, that's when the new covenant is going to be activated. Guess what? All the Israelites are going to be good, man. They not all the Israelites, not just the ones that teach, that know they Israelites. All right, that's when the new covenant will be activated. Because right now it's not activated. We're prophesizing, we're still prophesizing in hopes that the Lord wake up his elect. But guess what? You see in Jake, still suffering, man. We still suffer, you know? We're still suffering. And guess what? We can die, you know? We can get hurt, we can get sick. So we're looking forward to the new covenant, right? To be activated when Yahushua crack those clouds and change our bodies. And that's when that covenant is activated. And therefore, guess what? As you read it, it says that no, we shall not teach our neighbors. The Lord will take out the stony heart and give us the heart of flesh. This means all the Israelites would know they're Israelites and they will be made perfect, man. Common sense, man.
Yeah, so with that, you know, hope the segment was edifying. We'd like to give all praises, honor, and glory
To Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem
Double honor to the apostle Elder Millstone. Shalom to like out there, those for the faith